Hey everyone. I want to talk about something recently that has happened in the UFC. It's something that's been getting a lot of media attention and coverage. Some say it was a publicity stunt by the UFC. Some say it wasn't. Even the UFC president, Dana White, said it caught him by surprise. And even though this person apologized for what happened, it still was able to get the UFC, talked about by a lot of sports media and media overall. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about what Brock Lesnar said at the end of his fight with Frank Mir. Now, honestly, I don't know exactly what Brock said because I haven't seen that part yet, because I downloaded the pay-per-view after somebody already watched it and posted it on one of those wrestling multimedia message board forums. Anyway, apparently what Brock said was just enough to get people talking about the UFC. And certain sports personalities, or sports media personalities I should say, have now said that the UFC has been exposed. Some say that it's now been revealed as being just like WWE and TNA, that it's fake, it's scripted, it's storyline, and it's choreographed. While others say that it's not fake, but do agree that it's storyline and scripted. While others disagree on both parties and say it's real, it's not fake, it's real, it's not storyline, it's not scripted, nor is it choreographed, it's legit. And that the only reason people talk about something like UFC is because of the star power it has. And that it's also right now the alternative to professional boxing. Because you look back in the day, professional boxing, when people were talking about that, they were talking mainly about the stars that represented it. Stars like Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Evander Holyfield, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, and the list goes on. But nowadays, boxing lacks that star power, so a lot of people have to alternately turn to something that's similar to boxing, but is probably just as good, if not better, and that's mixed martial arts. But because of what happened on Saturday, some are saying that UFC is now becoming the is now becoming the WWE of the MMA. Well, others are disagreeing with that. Others agree with what the UFC president had to say. That what Brock Lesnar said at the end of his match with Frank Mir, which he won, totally caught him and everybody else off guard and by surprise. Well, others tend to say it's not like that, and that even though it is a legit sport, or even though it is real, it's just like it has many of the flaws that WWE and TNA have, and that it's storyline and it's scripted. True, it may not be fake, true, it may not be choreographed, but to some, they feel it's just got the same flaws, the storyline is scripted. Me personally, I believe it's legit all the way. It's totally legit all the way. True, some people may say, well, they got these entrances and all that represent like sports entertainment and WWE and TNA and things like that. Well, boxing has similar stuff as well. So you can't go and say, oh, it's fake too. It's not. And let's take a look at the differences as well. In boxing, they have gloves. Yeah, they get cut and everything, they get busted, but the gloves are a little bit more. It takes a little bit more pressure, if you will, for that to happen. In UFC, mixed martial arts, people just have gloves that expose the fingers. So in other words, it's more legit, it's more hard-hitting. What I'm saying is that to a lot of people, because of what happened on Saturday, some, like I said, that either say it's fake, choreographed, storyline scripted, or those that say it's real, but it is storyline scripted and all that, are all saying that because of what happened, the UFC is now becoming the WWE of the MMA. So what's that make WEC, huh? The TNA of MMA? What's that make Pride? Or what's that make WEC? What, the Ring of Honor of MMA? Does that make Pride the TNA of MMA? No, it doesn't. None of what those people believe is true. I mean, a lot of people get caught up in the moment. Brock Lesnar, from what we've heard, got caught up in the moment. That's all that happens. you know, some people have to realize that, you know, when people get caught up in a moment, and it can happen in anything. I mean, it's happened in the NBA, it's happened in Major League Baseball, it's happened in the NFL, it's happened in the NHL, heck, it's happened in the WNBA. Basically, basically people get caught up in the moment. Headliners, people that talk about these sports, get caught up in the moment. I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant on the Lakers, because people talk about the Lakers because of him, get caught up in the moment. I'm sure Shaq, depending on what team he's on in the NBA, get caught up in the moment. Manny Ramirez in baseball. Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Eric Chavez, and the list goes on. Tim Lynchian in baseball. You know, they get caught up in moments and say things they don't mean. Same thing in football. Chad Johnson, Ocho, if you will. Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Randy Moss. The list goes on there. Jamarcus Russell. You know, the list goes on and on. People, headliners of sports, either it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey maybe, or whatever, when they get caught up in the moment, they tend to say things they don't mean, and that has happened. And what happened at UFC 100 after the end of his match with Frank Mir is Brock Lesnar getting caught up in the moment. That's all that happened. So what I'm saying is that a lot of sports media people that believe that the UFC has been exposed because of that need to realize that's happened in other sports. It's happened in baseball, it's happened in basketball, it's happened in football, anywhere you can think of. It's happened. You get caught up in the moment and you say things you don't mean. It doesn't mean you're going to basically purposely pull a publicity stunt so your company, your organization that you work for will get media attention. If that was the case, the WEC and the Pride would have done the same thing. Ring of Honor Wrestling would have done the same thing. You get caught up in a moment and you say things. It doesn't mean you're trying to get publicity for your company or for the organization you work for. You just get caught up in the moment. It doesn't mean you've been exposed to the organization of fake wrestling or fake fighting. It doesn't mean you're exposed to the real fighting organization, but you're just like wrestling, your storylines and scripted. No. To those that say it's none of that, they know that the person just got caught up in the moment. That's all. That's all they did. They just got caught up in the moment. Who does not get caught up in the moment? I know I get caught up in moments sometimes and say things I don't mean. I'm pretty sure a lot of people here on the YT and in other video sites, that have channels, they say things and get caught up in moments and do things and say things they don't mean. The truth is, the thing is, what people have to realize is what Brock Lesnar did is exactly what a lot of people that have agreed that the UFC and mixed martial arts is real, it's legit, it's not scripted and all that, have said, and even Dana White has said. The truth is, he got caught up in the moment, he apologized for it later on, and that's all that happened. And I agree with that. As an upcoming fan of UFC and mixed martial arts, I agree with that. And that's all I have to say about it. If you guys have any comments on it, just let me know, and I'll talk to you all later.